Joins me now with Buyingblock.com. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
All questions answered, the real estate questions as they put it here.
Yeah.
Tell me this first of all. Is it wise to try and do it yourself, or should you definitely look for an agent? And if so, how do you find a credible one?
Well, you know, Dina, this is the biggest investment of your life. So, you know, you want to be prepared. You want to deal with people that really know what they're doing. So, you know, we live in a world where we wake up earlier in the morning, we go to bed later because we're so busy, and then all of a sudden you're making the biggest investment of your life. So, how much do you know about real estate, and how much do you know about homes? Probably not a lot. Right. You probably know what you want, but as far as all the legal ramifications and going through the process, it's pretty difficult. So, you know, my advice is, you know, you definitely want to deal with a professional that knows what they're doing. Okay, so how do we locate someone who is credible? Is it best to ask around and see maybe if friends have used them, that sort of thing, word of mouth? Yeah, exactly, yeah. You want to, a lot of friends, you know, you talk to anybody and they say, oh yeah, I've been through the experience. And usually they're just like, oh, I'm exhausted, it was hard, it was horrid, it was, you know, it's such a bad experience. And a friend last night sort of said to me, you know, you're talking about real estate, you're talking about homes, can you find a better topic to talk about? Because it's so boring. And for us, you know, it should be the most amazing experience of your life. Like, you're buying a home, this is where you barbecue, you have your friends over, you know, you close the door to the outside world, you have, you know, you're in the tub, you enjoy that, you know, it's a sanctuary. So it should be an exciting experience, and it's typically not, because you've got to deal with like 10 different providers. You got to find them. You got to find a lender. You got to find a realtor. You got to find an inspector. You got to find an insurance agent. The inspector is an important one, because it could be a nightmare if you bought yourself a lemon and you thought you did everything right. For example, there was an instance here where somebody thought everything was cool, but the washing machine didn't work. But of course, you're not going to go there and throw in a load. So what do you do for something like that? Yeah, well, the inspector is really important, but one thing about inspection is the inspector looks at what's visible. So they don't go behind the walls, because you don't own the property at that time. So they're just doing a visible inspection. Most important is go with your inspector and sort of do a bit of research at the beginning and find out, how does a home work? So when you're walking around with the inspector, then you're saying, hey, you know, what's this on the ceiling? I see a little bit of a crack or a leak or something like that. And, you know, is that bad, or is that probably not good? But, you know, what do I do about that? So you really want to be well researched before you go, and go with the inspector always, and try the washer. You know, turn on the taps. You know, just, you know, get used to it. You know, that's really, really important. This is very interesting. There was a huge bronze statue of a German Shepherd in a basement. And I guess the new buyers assumed that the owners would take it, but it cost hundreds of dollars to be cut into pieces. Does that sort of thing happen a lot, where people just kind of leave stuff that they shouldn't leave behind, and then is it your responsibility to get rid of it? Well, the German Shepherd is not a common experience, right? So you're not going to find a place with a German Shepherd. Wacky, wild. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, doesn't happen too often. But what you want to do is in your contract, in your offer to purchase, you want to state certain things. Like, I do not want that German Shepherd, or maybe I want that German Shepherd. You know, it's great. I love German Shepherds, right? So I want that German Shepherd to be left in the house when I move in. But you're right. If you don't want the German Shepherd, hey, I don't want that German Shepherd. Put it in the offer to purchase and make sure it's in there, so you don't get there and all of a sudden this German Shepherd that you don't know what to do with. I'll give you an example. When I bought a house, I went there the day before, which is always good to write into the offer to purchase. You know, I want to do a walk around the house the day before I take possession, because I went to my place and it had, you know, graffiti on the front, on the fence, and it wasn't "Welcome, Bruce Whitaker, to your house." It was like, I'm not going to repeat it on air, but it was bad stuff. Vulgar. So they had to go and they had to actually paint it over before I took possession. So it's really important to make sure you do that walk around, make sure that everything's okay. So many more tips, including everything from tenants. Is being a landlord a good thing? Should you go for the 25-year or the 40-year mortgage? Is it different than our parents? To get all the answers to those questions, go to Buyingblock.com. Thank you so much, Bruce. Yeah, really good seeing you. The German Shepherd one got me. That was hysterical. Over to Kev in the newsroom now.